Hey, what's up, goal getters? Happy Sunday. Welcome to it. We're a little behind schedule today. I had to pick up the missus from the airport, but I'm so glad you guys are here. Today's show it's kind of a big one. We're discussing all about how to stop procrastination from our lives by finding the core motivators, the thing that makes us uniquely different and sparked alive. So we're going to help you discover what brings you to life, how to get yourself started and going towards the things that matter most to you. Now, if we haven't met before, hi, my name is Patrick Kerwin, and today is all about you and what sparks you to life. So let's jump right into today's subject. Now, if you're new here, I'd love for you to say hi in the comments. We're live right now on Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on all the things. So if you could jump into the comments, say hello. Love to hear from you. All right, let's just jump right into it. So what we've got going on today is we are talking about 8 core motivators, the very things that get you up and get you going. And in order to have this conversation as honestly and as truthfully as we can, I think we need to begin with a simple truth. We're all wired differently. The thing that motivates one person actually demotivates someone else. Whether it's in your company or in your team or in your own business or just in your own life, it's imperative that we find what drives us, what moves us, what gets us going. And if you guys know my story, I spent many years not understanding how to get myself up, get myself moving, and to get myself to take consistent action. So a lot of what I'm sharing with you today has been my own road, my own personal discovery, but also what I share with all of my coaching clients, and I help people find their own spark and help them bring themselves to life. So let's go into these. Now, today's going to be a little unique. If you've got something to write with, if you've got a piece of paper, if you got like a smartphone to take notes on, this is one of the ones that I'm going to say, hey, it'd probably be good if you took some notes on this one, because this is going to be one of the ones that is going to give you a lot to think about. And I'm going to ask you to stack rank your own motivators so you can walk away from today's session with a clear understanding of what brings you to life. So let's look into each 8 of these. And before we get going, again, here's the kind of piece of paper I want you to think about. I want you to start walking away with like, okay, so Patrick, here's the main things that get me up, get me moving. Here's like the cocktail of different emotions that I can tap into. They're going to help me break through procrastination and change my life. Things at the bottom could be things you might find unmotivating. Like, so here's what turns me off. Here's what gets me stopped in my tracks. And maybe the stuff in the middle could be the things for you that, I could take it or leave it, but it's not the thing that really puts the fuel in my tank. So let's begin with the very first core motivator. And as we go through these, I want you guys to start thinking about what belongs in that top section, what belongs in the middle section for you, and what belongs in the bottom section. Okay, so the first one is contribution. And here's how it works. I'll do it if I know someone will benefit. This is me 100%. If someone needs what I have, be pained. If I don't, I'm in. And if I can't see the impact, I don't feel the motivation. So think about where you want to put that. I'm going to do 3, and then we'll come back to this conversation. So that's the first core motivator, contribution. Where is that for you on your list? Number 2, competition. This is, you'll know when you are driven and moved by competition if you'll say this, hey, listen, if there's a prize, if there's a way to win, if there's a spotlight in a way that we can see who's excelled more than others, I'm jumping in. Or you might say it in reverse, if I don't see competitors or victory conditions, I don't feel the drive to move. This is how I probably feel about a lot of the board games I play. Hey, listen, if it's just for funsies, there's no winner, I don't know. I like playing to win. So maybe that's you in that scale. Let's do another one. Community. I think this applies to a lot of people, and what actually gets them up, gets them moving, and has them see themselves to get switched on and take action is if there's a support group or a coach or anyone traveling alongside me, then I'm all in. So let's pause there for a second. And I wanted you guys to really start thinking about this. So as we look at these 3 levels, the main, okay, Patrick, of the 3 we've covered, where would you put the 3 so far? In the main category for you? In the middle, it's neutral. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not my main ones. Or is it the bottom for you? Some of you are thriving through competition, and some of you maybe are turned off by competition. In fact, in case you're curious, here's where I would stack rank these so far for me. So for me, okay, I already gave away, contribution is super high up there for me. If someone says, Patrick, I need you, or you've got this thing we need, you can help all of these people, I'll move mountains to make it. Like I'm kind of give her, if you got to work with me, like basically just giving you the keys to the kingdom here. You tell me how I can make a difference and I'm there. Community, I move by community. I thrive in community. I just really believe we are better together. And as a coach myself, I absolutely believe in this. It's not one of the things that say it's on not on my must list, but it's really nice to have and it helps when it does. Competition, surprisingly for me, especially when it comes to creative work, and I don't know if you're in the same way. For me, competition is, especially if it's something I'm creating for my own self or I'm bringing my artistry to the table, I don't really like competing with other people. In fact, I'm turned off by it. It demotivates me, but it could be the opposite for you. So let's pause there for a second. Today, in case you're just tuning in, we are talking about how to switch on all the switches within yourself by discovering the unique motivational cocktail that's going to get you up, get you moving, breaking through barriers, breaking through procrastination, and maybe, if I can use this language, finally getting to see yourself take action on your goals, on your dreams, and the things that matter most to you. So let me just say this a little differently. If you have been operating in your life up until this point, and you've seen yourself take 2 steps forwards, 1 step back, or 3 steps forwards, 5 steps back. Maybe it's in your diet or your health. Maybe it's in your goals and your business. Maybe it's in just anything where you're feeling resistance, doubt, hesitation, or just not feeling the motivation to do it. Today is all about helping you discover what really gets you up, gets you going. And the thing that's the most important to understand is we're all different. We're all wired differently. So what works for one person may not work for you. So if you're running a business right now and you have a team, you're like, I don't know how to motivate this one person. Today might give you a clue to that, but also hopefully for yourself. All right, so let's go right back into this. We've got a couple more to cover. We've got number 4 on the list of the core motivators is challenge. I'm trying not to reveal too much about myself here by like smiling or giving sort of nonverbals that would say this is on my list or not. But if I'll do it if it's hard. That's kind of the hallmark of challenge, and it calls some creative force within me to achieve it. If it's easy, it doesn't really excite me. But if there's some like challenging juiciness in there, or said another way, if it doesn't require me to stretch myself or expand my skills, doesn't sound that exciting. I don't really feel very motivated about it. So challenge. Think about challenge and where that might be on the list for you. Number 5, confidence. I'll do it if I know what I'm doing. I have to imagine many, many people are in this space like, hey, like I'll get up off the couch and I'll make that thing happen if I know what I'm doing and where I'm going. Now to flip that around, if I don't know the target, if I don't know the steps, if I don't know the bends in the road for each week, then I don't know how much motivation, maybe fear grips me more than motivation at that point, okay? We've covered a couple more. And I'm going to do a digestion point. We're doing 3s, and then we'll do a digestion point. Change. I can tell you right now, Katie, if you're watching, my wife is motivated, driven by change, by variety. She'll say, I'll do it because it's different than I've been doing or what's been done. That applies to going to the restaurant or going on a date night. It's got to be something different and fresh and new. So for those who are motivated by change, if it's not fresh, new, and unexplored, then it doesn't feel very exciting or motivating. So if you haven't seen yourself move on some things, what I really hope you discover as a result of today, and this is kind of the same talk I'd give to a lot of my personal coaching clients, so I hope you're receiving this today, is the power of these. Now, I've already been revealing for you guys what drives me, kind of giving some clues to my own motivational cocktail, and I hope that you did that. Yeah, Katie's verifying everything I just said. Yes, Katie says new things excite me. Yes, that gets her up, gets her moving. 100% true. I've learned this about you. You probably know. It's funny. Anyone watching me probably knows all of my core motivators right now. But I've already got contribution, competition. Let's look at the other ones, just see where I stack rank and see if maybe you're on the same channel I am. I'm absolutely motivated by challenge. In fact, it's like a sickness for me. I don't know if you have the same illness I do, but it's like, hey, there's this thing and it's tough and everyone else says they can't do it. Do you want to give it a go? I'm like, ooh, you're speaking my language now. Confidence is another one for me. I'll happily do that challenging thing, but it's got to be something that I know what the hell I'm doing in. If it was like a challenge around fixing cars, I don't know how to do that. So I wouldn't really jump into that. But if it's a challenge and it's an area I'm confident in, I'm there. Now, change isn't something that I'm particularly taken away from because, again, I like the challenge, but maybe you're on the same boat. Is if it's too much change or it's too unfamiliar, I could take it or leave it. It doesn't really stir the pot for me, if you know what I'm talking about. We got 2 more to go, and then hopefully you come up with a clear kind of cocktail for yourself. Consequence. I'll do it because bad things will likely happen if I don't. I don't think a lot of us are moved to this one. If the pressure is not strong enough, if there's not pain on the other end, we don't see ourselves doing it. So if there's not something looming in my head or a threat, probably don't feel the motive. Maybe that's you, and maybe that's the top, maybe it's in the bottom. Let's do one more. We can bring this home. Number 8 on our 8 core motivators that bring people to action, break through procrastination, and get going and keep going is commitment. I'll do it because I promised myself I would. This is about integrity. So if I haven't written a goal down, or if I haven't made a commit with myself, if I haven't signed on the line, then I just don't really feel motivated. If I said it one day to myself, like, hey, it'd be nice if we did this or nice if we did that, but I haven't really made a commitment with myself, then maybe I don't see the motivation. So my curiosity for you as we go through all these is, where do you find yourself? Again, we began this conversation with this question. If you haven't seen yourself move or consistently move on your goals, on your health, on your business, on your relationships, or just see that fuel that you can put in the tank that gets you going and keeps you going, maybe it's because you were trying to follow someone else's motivational model versus following your motivational model. Everyone's a little different, and we're motivated and demotivated by a couple of different things. I hope you're seeing some keys that are going to unlock some doors for you. Let's go back into this for a second. So bringing this home, here's all mine, and I'm going to add the last 2. For me, consequence actually is in the bottom. It's actually demotivating for me. If the consequences, the stakes are too high, I find myself not as interested. I find it doesn't have as much joy and passion for me if there's too much pain. But for me, that's the recipe for me. If there's contribution, commitment, if I have a confidence in it, and if there's a good enough challenge, you, my friends, will see me doing it. And that's going to be the cocktail that gets you going. So here's mine. David's chiming in. Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. Commitment is key. I love this follow through. I'm motivated by what is right. Let the consequences be what they may. So I'm going to guess, David, for you that the commitment belongs in that main motivator list. Now, what I would ask you guys to do is you think about it. Here's mine all put together, okay? So this is what I've developed for myself. When I coach someone, I help them come up with their own motivational system so they know how they're wired and how they can get themselves to move. So here's what mine says. It's like, Pat, how do you motivate Patrick? Here, I'm giving it away. If someone says, I want or I need your help with this, and my sense of passion and purpose and contribution are activated in that way, that's a big piece of the puzzle. If I have the confidence to know how to figure it out, or I just can figure it out along the way, if it's got a good challenge to it, and if I've made an internal commitment to myself that I'm going to achieve it, I'm going to serve at this higher level, I'll figure it out, we'll find a way. And of course, what's demotivating, as I said earlier, was too much competition, too much consequences. And whether I do it in a group or not, or if there's a lot of change involved, that's, it's nice to have, but it's not at the super top of the level. But for you guys today, as we're entering our week, as we're getting going in our lives, I want you guys to really think about this. If you want to show up as your very best this week, this month, whatever you're doing, it's imperative that you know how to turn on all the switches, activate that fire within, and get you moving to what you want. And if you tell yourself, hey, it just so happens, Patrick, after doing this little exercise, I just come to the awareness that I'm motivated mostly by groups and by competition and then the question is, well, then it sounds like if you were to put yourself in the right circumstances, you'd see massive action out of yourself. You'd see procrastination finally meet its end. You'd see yourself up early, staying up late, and going after it day after day after day. We are all wired differently. The question is, how are you wired? It makes the difference. Now, I'll leave you guys with this one thought. So this month, for many people on the internet is, and there's many versions of this, it's Lita live every day in August, or posting every day in August, or vlogging every day in August. As a result of going back, and this is kind of why I'm doing this, I'm announcing today that I am doing something every single day in August this month. For the next 30 days, you will see me go live. You will see me do stories. You will see me post inspiring messages across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Expect greatness, expect consistency, because I feel the call to serve you and my contribution is activated. I know there's a challenge. It's 30 days. Wow, that's a lot of commitment every single day. And it's hitting all of my commitments. Of course, I've made this commitment. I'm making this commitment to you right now. So I've activated all those things, and I know I'm going to do it. And I just want to share all of this with you. So look forward to great things from me, but more importantly, I'm excited to see great things from you. My friends, I hope today served you. I hope it makes a difference for you. If you liked what you saw today and it made a difference for you, please hit that like button. It just helps the channel and the algorithms. Subscribe to us on Facebook, wherever you're watching this, on YouTube, and make sure if you're on YouTube to hit that bell to be notified of any future content. Until we meet again, may the fire within lead to happiest heights and the road you travel be lined with lights. We'll see you next time.